Welcome back, guys, and in today's video we have a late reading wrap-up of December, and I actually ended up reading quite a lot of books in December, even though we were really busy a lot of the time because of all the Christmas stuff that was going on. But let's just start. First we have, these are not at all in order, so do not quote me on the order at all. Yeah. First we have the Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Orczy, and this is actually a 4 stars. This is a classic book, and this is actually the book that inspired Stanley to make all the movies he does and all that, and I actually really like this. It was a school book. It was still really enjoyable though. Then I read 6 months later as my first book club book with one of my friends, and that was absolutely so much fun. I flew through this book. She's a slower reader, so she hasn't finished it yet, but I finished this in the month of December and I loved it. This was a 4.5 stars, so close to being a 5-star, but it just wasn't as wow as something that a 5-star is, and I loved it so much. I cannot wait to read more Natalie D. Richards. The first book I read by her was actually 5 Total Strangers, and I loved it. Then we have Little White Lies, which I finished in the month of December, but I think I might have also had in my November wrap-up because I recorded that late as well. But I love this book, 5 stars. I'm loving reading through Jennifer Lynn Barnes' backlist. I'm reading about one of her books per month from her backlist because I want to space them out where I don't run out of them really quickly, but also they're so enjoyable. I fly through them so quickly. Then I read the Blood Traitor by Lynette Noni and rated it 5 stars. I loved this book so much. The ending was insane, and the build-up this entire series was crazy, and I loved it. It was so worth it. I'm so glad I got recommended this series. I loved it so much. Then I read Unravel The Dusk, which is the second book in the Blood of the Stars duology by Elizabeth Lim, and I rated this 6 out of 5 stars. It really ended up being a 6-star and tied with The Powerless and Naturals as one of my 6-star series. I love this. I can't believe I had never heard of this series. I just randomly saw it at the store, online at Book Outlet, and I'm like, oh, it's only $2.30. Let me pick that up real quick. And it was so good. Then I read Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. I actually have a reading vlog on this, and I love this book so much. It was so cute, and I rated this 5 stars. It might be one of my favorite Lynn Painter books. It was so cute. I loved the tropes. It was just so fun. Then I read Wires and Nerve by Marissa Mayer and rated this 4 stars. This is a graphic novel set in the Lunar Chronicles world, and I loved it so much. Then the next book I read was The Island by Natasha Preston, and this book upset me so much because the ending was so unresolved. I must warn you, if you go into this book, do not think this is a thriller where everything ends happily or it's going to be resolved, because it's not, and it annoyed me so bad. But honestly, it was still pretty good. I ended up rating The Island 3 stars. Then I read Thorn Season, another buddy read with one of my friends, and this edition is also gorgeous. It's so pretty, and I ended up rating this a 4.5 stars. Oh my goodness, the layer, because it's shiny. It's very shiny. I rated that 4.5 stars, and I loved that. It was actually so cool and unique, and the funny thing is when I was writing a book, that was literally the concept of the book I came up with, and I hadn't even heard about that book yet, so that kind of got me a little upset. But the book itself, I loved. And then I read Family of Liars by Eve Lockhart, and I rated it a 4 stars. Not quite as good as We Were Liars, but it was also really good, and I loved it. I love those plot twist endings, unreliable narrators type thing, and it was so good. Then the last book I read in the month of December was A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang, and this is also a special edition, and it is so pretty, but this book was so sad. I did not go into it at all expecting it to be this sad, but it was so sad. I cried, and I was just depressed for an hour, and then I got over it, but still, I was so sad. It was so good though, 6 out of 5 stars. Loved it. So these are all of the 11 books I read this month, and I absolutely love them. I cannot wait to see what I read next year, and I'll see you all in the next video.